Honestly, I used to feel so guilty about not practicing Italian the proper way with textbooks and grammar drills, just binge watching Italian shows, listening to music, and scrolling through lyrics. But you know what? That's how I actually started understanding. There is even science behind this. Our brain learns faster when there is an emotion, like hearing it in a song you love or in a scene that makes you laugh or cry. And it's called contextual immersion, when our brain doesn't just memorize the words, it starts to feel the language. That's why surrounding yourself with Italian content like books, TV, or music works way better than isolated vocabulary drills. So, if you're tired of language apps and still can't follow a simple scene in Italian, this video is for you. I'll show you everything I watched, read, and listened to that finally made my Italian click. And at the end, I'll share with you a couple surprising tricks that helped me improve my Italian faster without ever speaking to anyone. I will leave links to everything I mentioned in this video below, and also if you have any recommendations, you are welcome to share them in the comments. And let's start with what helped me the most, the shows I've binged that never felt like studying at all. One of my favorite Italian series is called Doc nelle tue mani, and it's a medical drama that tells a story of a doctor who loses his memory. He's a brilliant doctor and he tries to rebuild his career and life while solving emotional and complex medical cases. It reminded me of my old favorite, House MD, because in Doc you will also find and pick up on tons of medical terms, and you might also find in yourself some rare diseases, but every episode is pulling you in and keeps you hooked until the end. And you can watch it without subscription, I think on RaiPlay.it. I will leave the link down below anyway. And depends on your Italian level, of course, you can put Italian subtitles or watch it without any subtitles at all, but that could be a bit hard. The other series I enjoyed watching on Netflix recently is called Gattopardo, or Leopard in English, and it's a historical drama that is set in 19th century, just before Italy became a unified country. It follows the lives of Italian noble family from the Kingdom of Sicily that are trying to hold on to their power while the world around them changes. If you're into history and want to know more about Italian culture, this one is a must-watch. And another series, Gomorrah, is on my to-watch list. It's a crime drama about Camorra mafia in Naples, and I've heard it's very interesting and intense. You can stream it on HBO Max, or in some countries like Italy, it's available on Netflix. And if you watched this series, please let me know. I am so curious if I should watch it. My husband and I are huge foodies, so we love MasterChef Italia. Probably you've heard of it. It's a cooking show where amateur chefs compete, facing intense culinary challenges and being judged by top Italian chefs. And our recent discovery that my husband's Italian colleagues suggested us is called Little Big Italy. It's a show where Italians abroad compete to prove which local restaurant serves the most authentic Italian food. These shows are next level entertaining, especially because Italians are so strict about their food rules. You'll be shocked of how seriously they take food, and in the process you will for sure learn all the names of Italian dishes. When it comes to Italian cinema, there are a few movies that I really recommend you to watch in original language, even if you've already seen them dubbed. First, of course, the iconic La Dolce Vita by Fellini. Then La Vita è Bella. It won 3 Oscars and it will make you laugh and cry and fall in love with Italian all over again. And then there's my favorite Italian director, Paolo Sorrentino, and his movie La Grande Bellezza. I've seen like 3 times in my life. And also È stata la mano di Dio and his latest Partenope. It's just so poetic and beautiful, and I just can't get enough. One recent film I absolutely loved on Netflix is called C'è ancora domani, and it's set in a post-war Rome. It tells a story of a woman during this time, and the ending completely caught me off guard. It was very unpredictable. And if you're looking for suspense, Perfetti Sconosciuti, or Perfect Strangers, is a movie about a group of friends whose secrets accidentally come to light during a simple dinner. It's full of twists. I think you will love it, and also Italian there, it's more conversational, so it probably will be a bit easier to understand. you'll be shocked how much grammar you can learn just by singing along to Italian music. Before even moving to Italy, I started to listen Italian songs and reading lyrics, trying to sing, and even I couldn't fully understand what the songs were about. It really helped me to get used to the sound of the language. One of my favorite Italian artists is Ghali, and I love how in his songs he talks about topics like discrimination and identity. It's all about his experience growing up as a second-generation immigrant. His song Cara, Italia is so beautiful, and it's like a love letter to a country that is not always easy to love, and it really resonates with me. Then, of course, Måneskin. Probably you know them from Eurovision. Their song Zitti e Buoni won, I think, 2021 Eurovision contest, and they became very, very popular worldwide, and it's so cool to see Italian musicians going global. Their lead singer, Damiano David, actually now releases some solo tracks, and I also really love them. And I have to mention Jovanotti. His music just makes me feel good. My favorite songs are Serenata Rap and Baciami Ancora. There is also this indie rock band that I randomly discovered because I was invited to a concert in a park. They're called Selton. Actually, they are Brazilians but live in Milan, and they sing in all kinds of languages, including Italian. Their vibe is super fun and multicultural, and as a multiple language speaker, I really appreciate this. And then, of course, there is Sanremo, that is an Italian music contest where the winner goes to Eurovision. We watch it every year at home, and usually I discover like that some Italian pop music singers, and also I always end up putting some songs to my playlist. Last year, for example, there was a song La Noia by Angelina Mango that I really, really loved, and I think it won the contest. Honestly, I think listening to Italian music on the background really helps a lot. You are learning without even noticing it. And then I think there's another level. When you start understanding the lyrics of the songs, you can be ready to listen to podcasts because they obviously don't have subtitles. One I love is il podcast di Alessandro Barbero, but I think it will suit better for a bit more advanced Italian learners because the professor talks about history in a very interesting way, covering everything from Middle Ages to modern times. And it's like being at a fascinating history lecture, but from the comfort of your house. Another absolute favorite is Essential by Will Media. It's a daily 5 to 10 minutes roundup of important news. And speaking about Will Media, I enjoy the content on all their social media platforms. I actually made a master's thesis with them on fake news, and this is a really high quality journalism. I suggest you follow them on Instagram also, and they usually publish very curious and insightful stats. This is how I keep up with what's happening in Italy and in the world, politically, socially and culturally, while improving my Italian. And when I wanted to learn from real people using real everyday language, I found these YouTube creators. First up, Learn Italian with Lucrezia. That says it all, right? It's a super helpful channel that breaks Italian in a way that is easy to follow and super fun to learn. Then there is a channel, A Creative Life, and Cristina is a creator who shares her daily life in Milan through casual lifestyle vlogs. It's perfect for picking up that everyday Italian, the kind that you actually hear when you are out and about in Italy. These channels are a great way to get a taste of how Italians really talk and make learning more personal and relatable. Also, if you have any suggestions of Italian YouTube creators, I would appreciate them. Please leave them in the comments. Okay, I have to be honest. My goal for this year is to read more books in Italian, because usually I read in English, and I wanted to suggest you one of the first books that I read in Italian, and I really liked it. It was a gift from my friend for a Secret Santa kind of thing, and I remember saying that I would like to read a book that would be in Italian but not so difficult, and they gave me a book called Seta by Alessandro Baricco. It's actually very short, poetic and quite easy to read, even if you are still learning Italian. The language is simple but beautiful, and it's about a French man who travels to Japan for silk, and finds an impossible love there that almost feels like a dream. I think I actually watched a movie that was based on this book also, and it's called Silk as well. And the next book in my to-read list in Italian is called My Brilliant Friend, or L'amica geniale by Elena Ferrante. Actually, in 2024, this book was named #1 of 21st century according to the New York Times. My mom is a librarian and she always gives me the best book recommendations, and actually she already read L'amica geniale and she said that I absolutely have to read it too. By the way, hi mom! I know that you are watching this, so now I have very high expectations for this book, and if any one of you read it, please let me know in the comments what do you think. So here's the trick that actually helped me to improve my Italian without ever speaking to anyone at first. I rewired my whole digital life. I switched my phone to Italian, I replaced all the content I consume with Italian music, social media feed, podcasts. It wasn't about studying, it was about living in Italian, even if it's just digitally. And also I stopped obsessing over vocabulary lists. Instead, I started collecting the small phrases that I picked up in movies or songs, tipo che ne so io, or ma dai, the way people actually talk, and I just could repeat them to myself later, even though from outside I could look a bit crazy, and it felt weirdly effortless, but somehow suddenly things just started sticking. And grammar started making sense even though I could not know all the rules. Of course, I don't say that learning grammar is not important. It is absolutely. But in my case, I think it was very helpful to not just learn things, but also starting thinking in them. So that's my advice of today. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. And if yes, please support it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Ciao!